So just to talk through this now as kind of like a complete jigsaw puzzle, so to speak.
Yeah.
Your issue in the swing there now is your club went back, your arms sort of pushed outwards a little bit, and then the club would then what we call fan or roll. So as you get to about here somewhere now, when the club's kind of get level with your hands, it's quite high, yeah? It's above your hips there, okay, sort of mid-drift area. The club now has got behind you a lot. And then as a result of that movement here now, the club's very sort of laid off, very bowed, and now you've got to sort of make a reaction on the way down, which is it's not over the top in terms of like you're coming over the top, big old slice, but you are certainly steepening the shaft. If we think where your shaft is on that plane there, very flat here now, as your hands come back to the same point at the end of that yellow line, look at the difference in the shaft now. So you've steepened that shaft quite a lot. Now, at times you get good at doing that, and I guess with irons it's probably going to be okay and you get a nice shot, but when you get the longer club, you don't want to be steepening your drive or certainly your 3-wood on the downswing, okay? So when you come back to the golf ball here now, that club's going to probably be sort of closed and aiming to the left, then your right foot would do it sort of like jazzy movement here now and sort of try and slide forward there, and your body's just trying to really fight that golf ball from going left, and then we might get a slice with a driver, you might get a low hook, a lot of variety. And as we said, if your swing is too much one way or t'other, depending on which wind, you're going to lose the golf ball off the fairway somewhere, or maybe you lose it in the trouble. If we can have it being a bit more kind of that way, if both sort of come together equally, it's dead straight. If one wins massively, you're still finding the fairway, okay? So for you as a feel, and the focus now is going to be working on getting this part of the swing better. So where the club is there now, we've got to rehearse this movement now on the right, which is the practice swing. Now that goes a bit outside the line, if truth be told, okay? But at least then now the club and the hands are kind of more level, around a hip height. In an ideal world, I want the hands to be nearer here and the club to be there. And that's just going to come from when you take the club and just move your torso, yeah? We're not positioning with our arms and hands. Our arms at this point should be still quite low to the ground or pointing down to the ground more. Now, in fairness, because that may have been an exaggeration, when you came to the golf ball, it kind of worked in between that. But I want to be working the practice move with the arms working correct. So when this club goes back now, there you go. So if you go back there now, the arms and the club now, when the club is sort of level with the hands, it's in a more hip height position, okay? As I said, the arms have moved out from the body a little bit. In an ideal world, I want those hands to be a little bit more in, so you can rehearse that yourself. That's going to be the first thing you've got to try and get dialed in with, okay? Once that's dialed in, and then you can take the club to the top of the backswing, being less bowed and laid off here. If we think that's kind of your swing plane there, as you then come back down, you've steepened it a little bit, but it's certainly not as much as it was. So it's gradually moving into where the window we want it to get into, okay? Then as you come back to the golf ball here now, club's coming down the path line, nice with the golf ball, good strike of the golf ball there now. And then your right foot now is not kicking through as much, which is the key thing. Your right foot's often an indication of like, oh my God, I got to react to this. And that's something that you're doing probably instinctively without even thinking, I tell you what, I better just slide my body through. It's just almost like, I know this club is over the top for my plane. I know the club's going to be shut. Let's do something, and that's just hang on to it for dear life and hope for the best, yeah? So what I would suggest going forwards, practice this takeaway where you get the position of your hands here. Now, have you got alignment sticks or not?
Yeah.
If you have, there's a little drill. I'll try and draw it in as best I can, and I'll show you in person so you can remember, okay? Put an alignment stick basically up between your hands and the grip, okay? You do takeaways, and what will happen is the alignment stick now will slide down your leg and end up, when you get the club to kind of here, the stick would actually be on your left thigh, okay? And I'll show you that in a second, okay? Because if your arms were lower down and you hinged it better, the stick could actually be pointing down there, yeah? And I'll show you that in person in a sec. But just to give you sort of an image and a reminder on the video here when I send it through to you, okay? So that'll be a good for just to get that feel of that, and just keep doing this over and over again. So the club shaft, basically, or the stick itself is rubbing down your left thigh to the point where it just becomes natural, yeah? Then when you get that transition from here now and you feel good with that, you can just start getting that hinge in the backswing up here now a bit better, because once the first part works better, the next part can work better. Once you've got those two things pretty much dialed in, the over-the-top movement now will give you that one that you had when it go a bit to the left, yeah? Because you'll be still tipping the club forward, club face will be sort of a bit closed, and the ball will be going a bit more left. Once that happens, and again, what I would suggest, either on course playing or down the driving range, film some swings, send them across to me. But once that point happens where the ball's doing this, then you go, right, I'm there now, Gareth. I want to now work on this next thing in the downswing. That could be a month down the line, whatever time, depending on which practice you put in, I suppose, to be fair. And then we can start getting the ball to be more that way, yeah? Where we change the downswing and your focus is on how that body's going to move. But the moment now, we don't want to change that, because if you're still coming flat on the inside and we change her over the top, it would literally just go right over there somewhere, yeah, like the one that did go on 18 somewhere, and that's the killer one, yeah. You get that there's going over there. I mean, on this hole, yeah, you're okay. 3rd lost ball, 4th you're in a house, 5th you're out of bounds, 6th lost ball, 7 might be on an adjoining fairway, 8 lost ball, 10 lost ball, 11 wet, 13 in a field. It's like there's not many holes you can end up all that far offline and get away with it. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good man, yeah.